In the previous video, we have seen how to calculate the compressive strength of concrete. So, while calculating the compressive strength of the concrete, either cube mold or cylindrical mold is used. Therefore, you can use a cubic specimen or a cylindrical specimen to find the compressive strength of the concrete. But as you can see, there is a difference in values that you get from using the cubic and the cylindrical specimen. The reason behind this is simple. Okay, see, the figure here shows you the specimen of 150 size. This is the standard size of the specimen, cubic specimen, and the cylindrical specimen has a diameter of 150 and depth 300. So as you can see, width to height ratio is 1 here, but here width to height ratio is 0.5, or height to width ratio is 2, right? See, so these specimens are placed in the compressive testing machine to find the compressive strength of the particular concrete. There is a difference in the compressive strength value that is obtained by testing a cylindrical specimen and a cubic specimen. The reason behind this is very simple. So we know what is a platen. This is a platen as we seen in the figure. So when these platens are exerting compressive load on this specimen, what happens is the concrete specimen tends to expand in the lateral direction. Okay, that is what usually happens. But since these platens are exerting compressive force on this concrete cube, there is a friction developed between the platen and the top layers and bottom layers of the concrete specimen. So కాబట్టి ఏమవుతుందంటే బికాస్ ఆఫ్ దట్ ఫ్రిక్షన్ this concrete tries to go lateral displacement, expand in the lateral direction, but this platen will not allow this concrete cube to expand in the lateral direction because of this friction between them. So because of this, there is a shear stress that is induced on the top layer, shear stress, and the bottom layers also. And you notice that since this platen is not allowing the lateral expansion of the specimen, it is actually confining the specimen, we have a stick. This stick do not have a strength, but if you have more number of sticks and you have used a rope to tie them together, what you are doing is you are confining the all the sticks together. You are confining the sticks, right? You are making them stronger by confining it. So in the same way, since these platens are confining the concrete from undergoing lateral expansion, as it is stopping the lateral expansion of this concrete beam specimen, it is actually confining it. So what happens is cube is going to fail at higher stress value, higher load. The cube will be in a position to take more amount of load before failing. Okay, but this is not what happens in cylindrical specimen. Even though the diameter is 150, the overall diameter area, that is pi by 4 d square, pi by 4 150 square. This is going to be different because see here, this 5 is something like 3.1 and this 4. So usually you get pi by 4 as less than 1. So less than 1 into 150 square, you will get lesser value, lesser area than this cube surface area, isn't it, right? So what happens is, since area is less, what happens to the stress intensity? Stress is equals to force by area. So if force area decreases, what happens to the stress? It increases. Even the force is constant, the stress that is induced on this material will tend to be higher. Therefore, even at the smaller force only, because of this decrease in area, stress is going to be more on this and it is going to fail before this concrete cube. Okay, so if for example concrete cube is failed at something like 20 Newton per mm square, this cylindrical cube, which is made up of same concrete as this cube, may fail at around something like 60 Newton per mm square itself. Because the table here will help you to understand the differences in these values. So a test is conducted on a cube and a cylindrical specimens, set of specimens, and when the cube compressive strength is 9 Newton per mm square, 1 MPa is equals to 1 Newton per mm square. So 9 Newton per mm square, cylinder has a compressive strength of 7. And when cube has 16, cylinder has 12. There is always a difference in values between the cube and cylindrical values, isn't it right? And in all the cases, the cube gives a higher compressive strength result compared to the cylindrical value.